kid won't get boring, and so she won't be on TV watching what's going on out there, because it could be very depressing for a kid, because they misses their friend and their teacher. But thank
Yeah.
God for Zoom, that they be she's able to see her friends. She's able to, we even do birthdays on Zoom, so with her friends when they have. And recently my daughter took a trip to Australia with her teacher, so she got her a luggage, her pillow neck, and she was ready to go, and she sat in front of the her laptop watching the teachers taking them. They had passport tickets, everything. So so they won't feel like, the what's going on out there is really stressing them out. Even though sometimes she asks a question like, "Mommy, too many people are dying. What's going on? When is this gonna stop? We want to go outside." And we say, if we stay in prayers, we read off Psalm 91, knowing that what's going on, it's going to stop any minute, because God is in control.
And that's really, really awesome to share. And I know a lot of people have gotten some good examples that are writing down. I want to take a trip to Australia now. I want to get my neck pillow and pack my luggage and go on a virtual tour. Kristen, how's it been for you and some of the adjustments that you're making, helping your children adjust? I know you got cool and creative tips, ideas that you can share as well.
Oh man, I mean, Sabine listed a lot. We're trying to keep the balance. The girls, I have a 5, 4, and 1.5-year-old. And so it's really challenging sometimes to balance school time, play time. And I just want to encourage parents out there, caregivers, that, it's wonderful to look online and get lots of ideas for activities and whatnot. But don't feel overwhelmed. These are challenging times. I think parents should know to be patient with themselves and have a list of activities, but don't feel like you have to keep your kids going 24/7. I sometimes just have to remind myself to just sit on the floor and read with them and talk about what's going on. I know it's very scary, like Sabine had mentioned. Parents usually are afraid to talk about unpleasant emotions. You're going to see my therapist come out here. They're nervous to talk about unpleasant emotions with their children, but you're just validating what they're already feeling. And so talking about that, allowing this space to talk about their disappointment, how they can't go to the park right now and play on the swings. They can't go to library time, and how sad they might feel that they can't see their friends. So you sit there, but then you take them and you move them into gratitude. And what can we be grateful for? What are blessings that Jesus is giving us today that we can focus our attention on, so that we're not always disappointed and focusing on those unpleasant emotions?
We want to thank you, all of you who are watching us right now on Small Talk Big God. And the topic that we're wrestling with is teaching our children while they're at home. And we'd love to hear your comments on our question of the day, which is, what are some of the ways we can help our children adjust while they're at home? What are some of the ways we can help our children adjust while they're at home? And we've had great recommendations and tips from both Kristen and Sabine, and we'd love to hear your tips and insights as well. Kristen, I want to go back to you. I want to ask you to put your therapist hat back on and talk about this. Sometimes this ideal of performance that we may put on our children, we wrestle with. And I know for us in our household, when it was established they wouldn't be going back to the classroom, all the assignments are now online, it was this mad rush to look at the list and operate at a certain level similar to the classroom experience. And I find myself honestly putting a little bit of extra pressure on my children to perform in this environment. What are some ways that we can better adjust to supporting our children? And some of them are really comfortable, as Sabine was saying, her daughter's really comfortable with online learning.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes that pressure, that push to maybe outperform or compare to other kids on Instagram and the projects they're doing. What are some better ways that we can manage that?
Yeah, definitely have your goals. Make sure that you're meeting the requirements that the teachers are providing. And then, sorry. something.
And we lost you a little bit there, Kristen. We'll try to come back to you. We're having some
Okay.
the tips that you were doing were so great that you probably just crashed the internet.